Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Brian Galke, and we're ACES53. Did I say that wrong again? Did I go back
you
the
did
wrong
right.
way? Oh, geez, it made me think I was saying things wrong again. Anyway, move on.
This one time you were
ACES53
right.
stands for, really, it's aces and a joker, but aces and a joker was taken online, so we went with ACES53, which is 53 is the first joker in the deck. And what jokers are to us is that unique ability you have, or somebody we bring in to teach you that unique ability that you can either learn or you have naturally. Bring it out. That's all I have for today. Let's go. I'm out of here. This week is, I know it's Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday.
Yeah. I feel like it's always the week before something major. So next week for me is going to be spring break for kiddo. So I feel like a lot of people are trying to cram stuff in this week because they don't plan to be around next week.
I think spring breaks differently all over the country, though.
I know, but there's a lot of speaking and things going on next week too. That there's people coming to Dallas. There's people in California. The amount of people who put events out for next week, like, Sean and Lacey, don't you, from Black Diamond Club?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't know them personally. I haven't talked to them in a long time, but I know of them and I've seen them before. I was at their event.
They're having their so they do 2 events a year, and they're having the sales one like not even a mile away from my house, but I'll be out of town with kiddos. So kind of bummed about that. I was going to swing by, say hi to them all.
Well, not everybody has kids.
I know. This is true.
So not everybody works around everybody's children.
I know. Well, it's probably why they got good deals on hotels, right? As far as renting out spaces.
Actually, spring break is the worst time to go anywhere, because I remember going down to Mexico with the kids and stuff. It's like the worst time. It's crazy. It's like, no, thank you.
It's the worst time to get an actual hotel room, but I'm sure event space opens up because a lot of people aren't doing events that week for local companies, since different kids are out different for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
All right, now we got this whole event thing that nobody cares about because only probably 1 out of 8 people that we talk to have a kid.
Yeah,
still at home.
Yeah, still at home. That's a big one. Yeah, I'm a late in life kind of guy. Engaged at 38, married at 41, kid at 42. Yeah. I went to my
you missed a thing there.
What's that? Oh, divorced? Yeah. I went to my 30-year high school reunion, and they're like, yeah, my kid just graduated college. I'm like, yeah, my kid's in first grade. Slight difference.
I like being the older man.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. What are we going to talk about today? We've been talking a lot. How about we talk about courses? We need to get somebody on talking about courses, how to make sure you have your course going and what you're doing wrong. This is something I'm just throwing it out there because I can't. So I do a lot with Podmatch, but a year, I'd say I was going through and I was looking at people's percentage of them getting back to people, right? To be on their podcast, and there's zeros. There's 58%, there's 80 some percent, and there's 100%. I'm like, I wonder what mine is. I can't tell you because I can't look at my own. But then I went back in. I was like, holy cow, I missed so many people a year ago when I wasn't like really hitting it hard on it. That period of 8. Yeah, for that 6 months or 8 months, I wasn't doing. So I went back through all the way to the beginning and hit everybody and said pass or match. I matched a lot, but it was like, wow, I just picked up a bunch of. Now I'm like booked out to August or September on my podcast. But a lot of them are like, oh, we can't do the time that you have. Sorry.
Then you can't do it.
That's right. That's the only day I do it because I'm booked already. But what I'm getting, so I was going back through all that. Well, the guy that runs that, Alex, I can't say his last name, Sassafras or something like that. Anyway, they put out there, they're looking for some speakers for a kind of a TED Talk thing on podcasting. So I put in there my 1023 rule of podcasting, and he wanted to know more information about it. So I got to put it all together now.
You remind me, I need to add something to my to-do list. I need to apply for Podfest. Where is record? Apply for Podfest.
You don't have to. Well, you apply to talk or apply to go?
No, to talk. Come on.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, you better be a talk on pod. How to come across better on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, our last week's guest too. Remember, he's kind of involved with them. So anyway,
I know that's great. But what I'm getting at is, it's just not it's about podcasting. The whole thing's about that, or video, or that kind of stuff, because I've been there. And I would just, if you're going to do your talk, how to connect with your client and the not the word listener, but the you on your podcast when you can't see them?
While we're talking about this, why don't we get C-Rock on for one of the ones? Yeah. So
yeah, that's fine. You can reach out to him and see if we can get him.
Yeah.
But I still think the most important thing is about what I was talking about, how to get on. I don't want to just say speaking events, but because these are unique things, right? Somewhat of a TED talk through Podfest is really good. When I went there, I sat in the video side of it more than the actual podcasting side. So they have a lot of good stuff. I'm just saying you would be how to, because you have your guest, right? Well, not only that, but you know who that person is. If you're the interviewee, or if you're the person who's doing the, being interviewed, or there's two different ways of looking at it. And I think if you could do a talk on that, that would really connect them with you, besides what you're doing. Right.
Yep.
Because you got a great talk. It's just a matter of how can you just get it to podcasting people, either the host, the guest, or the listener, which I hate that word listener. The you.
Right. Yeah. The use. You know who use is? The use?
Utes. Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we were talking about courses. So where were you going with the course thing?
Because I keep across somebody who's on one of the pod and they're like, sign up for my real estate, investing course. And I clicked on it and it went to a webinar to sign up all this stuff. I was like, okay, I don't even have that. And I need to get my stuff going. So
I talked to somebody last night, because that's the big question. A lot of people are moving towards Kajabi. A lot of people are moving away from Kajabi. So I know a local guy here who's got a mastermind. He just moved everything from Kajabi over to go high level. And then, of course, the latest, greatest craze right now is everybody's launching something on School, because Alex Hormozi just dropped 100 million into it. And so that is the question, is not just how do you create it, where do you want to host it? And we've talked about the pros and cons.
How do you make money off of it? How do you get people there? Why don't you get that guy to come on? He can talk about how he set it up and why he moved from where he went to where he went, and what's the big difference.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's something people want to know. It's something I want to know, because you are easy. You have your stuff up there, but I've watched, I've got connected with those people with the credit stuff just to go through their stuff. And I mean, their course is really good. I mean, it's in like 3-minute segments all the way through to 5, you know what I mean? And he'd stand there talking and I'm like, wow, they did a really good job with putting this thing together.
It's kind of funny. I'm going to go back to corporate America here for a minute. Corporations don't dig into the same level of analytics that people who create courses do. One of the places I worked at, the videos were an hour long, then they give you a test after it. And there's studies that says the average attention span is 7 to 10 minutes, if that. So giving someone and saying you have to watch this entire hour long and then go take a test is written out there. So you're absolutely correct. You've got to break it down into modules that are easily digestible modules. That was the big thing to learn, was what's enough to give them something to latch onto, bite onto, but not overwhelm at the same time. And so all mine are broken down into anywhere from 3 minutes to max of 15 minutes. And it just depends on how much of it was learning, how much of it was just reinforcing what was there over time. But yeah, I think we need to find somebody who has recently transitioned from one to the other and have them talk about what are the pros, what to look for in a platform, not mention the names of the platforms they went to. Because
I have no problem them explaining, because like we talked about, I've been on Squadcast, I've been on Riverside FM, I've been where you StreamYard. I'm not saying StreamYard's the all to everything. I mean, some people like Riverside now, how they can do it totally different. And I liked Squadcast a lot from the beginning, but then it didn't have to where I could put the stuff on the screen that we're doing, and you have to do it in post edit. It might have it now. There's nothing wrong explaining why they went from one place to the other.
Sure.
Then people can understand what they're lacking, but that might not what they want anyway.
Right. Well, there was for a long time, a lot of people, the only reason there were only two that really started early on, that was Lightspeed or Kajabi. And it used to be that Lightspeed was if you had an organization that you wanted to check and see, are your employees watching the videos? Are they doing it? Did they pass the test? Lightspeed was the only company that could do that. And then Kajabi was more of the, hey, I'm just going to put a course out there. If somebody watches it, great, but I don't really need measurement metrics. Well, that's all changed now. Like everything else, if it's not intellectual property. Everybody copies off of each other and goes, okay, they've got this new feature. Now I'm going to have this new feature. Like we talked about is with, what do you call it? Launching like Go High Level. Well, it's a part of Go High Level's package. You don't even have to add on additional things for it, but I don't think it has all the tracking metrics and things, but it still has monetization, the ability to do modules. You can record Zooms and put it in there. So I think it goes into, what do you want to use to create your course? Are you going to use Zoom? Are you going to use, I use one that used to be called Screencast-O-Matic, or Screencast-O-Matic, and now they're ScreenPal or something like that. That's what I used to record my courses initially. But I do think for the next round, I'm not going to look to go in and have professional production done and, you know, have a TV that's in the background that I can point to other things that I didn't do the first time around. But if you look around, like Jim Quick, his stuff is very, very, okay, do this, pop a few words up on the screen. And that guy just kills it in the course selling arena.
What does he use? Like a whiteboard, or does he actually?
No, they just like pop them up on the screen.
So, but is it okay? Because, you know, they have there's TVs, but then there's also the rideable whiteboard.
Oh, I've got my eye on one. Trust me, it's about $2,700 to get the 50-inch one. That would go right perfectly right here. So that'll be a long-term purchase. Yes.
Well, just add it on now and then, you know, get rid of it later.
Yeah. Well, I wish I think it's called, it's not Vizio, but it's something like that. I keep an eye on it. So Rene Rodriguez uses one of those when he's talking. There's somebody else I know who uses it. Janine uses something like that where it's see-through that she can write on it. You can kind of see what they're doing, but there's definitely some new toys that are out there that are a lot more fun. It's like everything else. Production costs used to be insane. You'd have to go into a studio. You'd have to work with, you know, production people, get mic'd up. They'd have to take your material, create your teleprompter. You don't have to go to do all those things. You can do a majority of things from home now. That's just where we are in life.
Or that's not from home, from your studio, say it.
Studio. I'm saying
church it up a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
in your own studio. How about that?
Yes. Yeah. What I mean is you don't have to go hire a production company to create or produce anything anymore. Kind of like you don't have to, if you go back 15 years ago, the only way for you to make t-shirts or mugs or anything was you had to go and sign a big contracting deal with a manufacturing company and buy 20,000 shirts or whatever. And now we live in the day and age where you come up with a shirt idea. There's software out there. You can say, hey, go put it on this website and only create one if somebody orders it. Right. Joe's great about that. You know, Joe Ingram, our buddy, he came up with a new shirt that's actually pretty funny. I don't want to give it away, but he sent me a mock-up of it yesterday. Yeah, no, over the weekend he sent it to me. And it's funny because he just comes up with these crazy ideas for shirts, slaps them up on a web page, and if somebody buys them, that's when they charge him. And you can make more off of a t-shirt or a mug or something simple like that than you ever can off of a book. You know, so
books.
Yeah.
So that's your business card. That's what
exactly.
Yeah. What's the website he uses to get the stuff done? Do you know?
I don't remember. I can ping him and see while we're talking. Joe Ingram, because I was chatting with him earlier today. What?
No, I'd like to know because I've had some ideas and I just didn't know where to go with them. And actually, funny thing is, someone hit me up on Instagram to open up a Spotify store where you go through all their stuff, and they actually helped me set it all up. So, have I done anything with it? No, but you know, it's there.
Hey, I've made up to $25 off being an Amazon reseller. Rolling in that dough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's just doing a lot of stuff. Oh, you know, well, the t-shirt stuff is really good right before Christmas and that kind of stuff. You know, depending on what you do, you know, on that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who did we have on? Robbie. Robbie he comes up with just crazy websites and ideas, and he creates vinyl stickers and t-shirts and mugs and you name it. And that's one of his side businesses is he comes up with something crazy. He makes sure it's not copyrighted. He goes, throws it out, puts a little bit of marketing money behind it. And that's another way he brings in $1,000 a month or, you know, whatever amount he makes, but you get the idea.
Yeah. I saw somebody just on Instagram the other day. They did this Apple short codes, right, for your computer.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm like, okay, but don't everybody know that? And you think about it.
Nope.
No, not
Yeah.
young people have no freaking idea because they don't know what a computer is. They know about their phone and but they don't really understand it the way we understood it.
Yes.
And that's it. I know all the off the top of my head. I could hit them all right now and I could tell you each one, but other people don't know, how do I, cut that on the screen with a, shift command plus, 4, and then I can add, I'm talking about where you can cut what's a picture on the screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't learn that until I took a programming course and we were programming the shortcuts underneath. I'm like, oh, this is how you do that. So now I've got them all memorized. I do like this. I like the fact that they're very similar between PC and Mac, because I was, going through corporate America, I was PC up until probably 10 years ago. And then I moved to a Mac. And luckily the keyboard shortcuts are so close. Control V, Control Z, Control,
just replace
C,
Control with Command.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Yep.
It's that one. It's what C are you hitting first? That's my problem when I go from sitting in, using my Mac for all weekend, and then I come in here and I'm like, and it's Alt. If I hit the command in here, it's Alt, and it doesn't do anything.
The Alt don't work. I've gotten really lazy about is I have the Mac that has the slide bar at the top. And they don't make those anymore. So when I bought this one, I refused to upgrade to the newer generation that had stuff because I'm like, yeah, but I like the slide bar. I wish they'd bring it back.
Yeah, my last one, that was right before they updated with all the new chips.
I don't know why they get rid of it. I love it.
Well, I mean, for Mac, for me, like people text me pictures of their documents, right? To get it from my iPhone to my Microsoft, it's like an email, right? And this and that. But if I'm on my Mac, it's like right out of
AirDrop.
It, right? No, not even AirDrop. It's already in my text.
On my Mac. Got you, because you keep Messenger on your computer too. Yeah, same. That's so. Yeah, Joe says it's Printful. Print FUL.
You have a store on there, or is that just on the demand buying?
I think that's
where it's got a store. Is the store on Spotify?
That I don't know.
I want to see a store.
Okay, what's the link to your store? All right, we'll put that. We'll see what he comes back with.
On demand stuff that we get with you, just so you guys know what's going on. But I mean, that's why I tell somebody else, they have to have multiple streams of income. If it wasn't for this recent slap in the face by our government to me and my business, I wouldn't have been looking even more.
Yeah. Well, and I suffer from the same disease, but in a different way. Is speaking is one of those things and I knew going into it, it's good. You get on stage, but then you're unemployed. And so it's that emotional roller coaster of, hey, I got a good speaking gig. Okay, now that speaking gig's done and that paycheck's done. Now I got to chase another one. And that's one of the things that we talked about. And you mentioned this a long time ago. I need to finish the coaching, need to finish the other products.
Okay. No more going out. You're grounded.
Yeah.
Until that's done.
Well, I will tell you what I've been focused on the last month is responding to the haters like we talked about and continuing to get
so freaking well.
Videos. Oh yeah, I just crossed 100,000 last night.
Another one?
100,000 followers? No, on Instagram.
Oh wow, you're the man.
Considering I was at 24,000 for a long time.
And that's still the same video.
It's the same video. Well, now every time I post one, if it starts to take off, then I go and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just push it out and see what happens. So I'll put $10 for 10 days and push it a little bit. That's it. I just texted you Joe's store.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm just going in and seeing who's commented on those. So every day when I get up after I brush my teeth and all that kind of stuff, I go look and say, all right, what's the head count increased and what comments are there that I can respond back to? So I haven't even advertised on that one. And I think it's almost at 3 million views. Hold on, I can tell you. Okay, so that video was posted 3 weeks ago and is at 2.63 million views right now.
So that's not.
So it's still something's keeping it alive.
Yeah, but it's slowing down.
Oh, it's definitely slowing down.
So what you could do though is take that, change the title, and repost it and see where it goes.
Yes.
Change the thumbnail on it, change a little bit, and see if it takes off.
Yeah. And
because
I'm
that
trying.
doesn't mean.
Oh, go ahead.
That doesn't mean that it's people. Everybody's seen it. People think if something goes viral, they say change the thumbnail, change this, change something up title, and repost it and use it again.
Exactly. I'm going through different ones now where it's different outfits, different stages, so that people can see it's not just one stage over and over and over again. But you're right, I'm rotating between them and just putting content back out. I still have to get way, way far away from ever being able to monetize YouTube because our lives don't count, and then shorts. It takes a long time to watch 3,000 hours of 1 minute shorts. So.
No, I know, but lives don't count towards your 1,000
Nope.
hours.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it was funny. I was looking at the other day. It was all the places I get people coming to me.
Yeah.
And last week, the top place was from you.
Oh yeah.
Someone's searching your name. Yeah.
Huh.
I was like, what the heck?
You're welcome. It's my way of paying you back for dragging my ass into this.
No, I just wish for me, I haven't had one it's different. You have something that is what you're teaching. There's only one way really to teach and what you can put out there so much. The problem on my side is I'm real estate. How I got to find a niche in it that somebody wants. Where the last one that went viral had to do with a manufactured home and doing it this way. And everybody's like, that's all stealing and this and that. I should have engaged even more. I didn't realize, but that was on TikTok. I have not had anything majorly go viral on Instagram. I did notice the other day, it says you have like 1,000 of these, I don't want to say bots, but basically accounts out of the 23,000 I have on there. They're like, do you want us to tell that they are not, or do you want to just get rid of them? I was like, I don't know if I want to get rid of them.
Yeah. I know it's a vanity metric, but it's one of those that you go, still good to have, because like we talked about, the 4 timesing my audience size did not 4 times my business. No. It increased a small little amount, but now it's going to be catering to that audience and continue to put content out there. And it's reinforcement, but it wasn't an immediate financial win of any sort, but it all helps.
But the new 3/4 of your people are because of what you posted about.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. Yeah.
Yep.
And they weren't bought. They were actually people. So you need to cater to those people only.
Exactly. And that's the funny thing is people are coming in going, we know you just bought all those followers. I'm like, actually, no. When I first got started, that was a tempting thing because I had 0 followers when I started Subtle Skills. And so there was a point where I'm like, well, it's only a couple $100, but then, you can go on, there's websites like Social Blade that can tell you when you've hit these huge spikes and then how many fall off. And that's the big thing. You can buy, but the problem is then you have to keep buying because those bots fall off after time.
Right.
So
and you don't know where they come from, but mine was I increased mine a couple years ago, and then I just fell off, didn't post like I should have been posting.
Right.
And that, again, on Instagram, I've not went viral, where TikTok is a totally different thing.
Yeah. I was just an event in December in Dallas that Cody Sperber was going to Sperber. I think Sperber is his name. He has a new account that he says, I guarantee you within 6 months, it's going to be 1 million followers. And his thing was post 3 times a day, all video, and just 3 times a day. Even trying to post daily seems daunting without a team. But he's got a team, and that's what they're doing is they're going to post 3 times a day to make an account, go to 1 million followers in no time.
Well, I mean, you just every day you have to post. That's somebody else that go live every day.
Yeah.
Right. And what's helped, I think it helped us too, is we go live on Instagram now.
Oh, since that new feature is there? Absolutely. Because you can see how many people are actively engaging in it. I mean, I know we can see it here when it's live too, but
it
doesn't show all the platforms.
Well, it shows where we're on, but the problem with like Facebook and other things is when you're looking at it, unless you clicked on it and you're in it, it doesn't count.
Right.
And LinkedIn doesn't show,
Correct. That's
I stopped going live to my YouTube channel because it doesn't count. So and this is what I did on my other lives is now I post them with a thumbnail about what they're at, and then I cut them up into 2 a 3-minute and a 5-minute video, and then I post that also, and then 3 shorts.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I need to get
That's
better
what we
about doing
need
all
to
that.
do here, but I can't do it all.
Yeah.
That was
No,
for
I get
you,
it.
by the way.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's my challenge is I need to get better about doing exactly that. Because right now, all I do is get the speaking clips. I just got one from the speaking event in Salt Lake, right? It was like, great, got it. The problem is the cameraman did a fantastic job of zooming in on me, but there's none of the PowerPoint slides that are there. So I'm like, crap. So I just reached out and asked him if I can get a copy of the raw footage because it's great of me on stage, but you can't see the audience. You can't see my slides. And since this one was a shorter one, I could only bring up one person, so I can't use it for that aspect. So I got to figure out how can I use that footage. I mean, yes, I can break it up, but it's hard if for your visual people, if there's not context of your slides, what I'm speaking about doesn't always make sense.
Right, but I think you should. Okay, you've been talking a lot on stage, right?
Mhm.
Maybe you should just see about just doing one where you're just there explaining stuff and post it on Instagram and see what happens again. Because you
Yeah,
haven't done that in a while.
true. You mean talking about just me
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
cards and stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a kid that's, and I call him a kid because he's younger than me, on Instagram, sorry, TikTok. He went pretty viral, and all he does
Mhm.
is explain stuff. I mean, he's up to 100 and some thousand viewers, and he's in the mortgage industry. And what he does is he just like rule of 72, and then he got another camera view and another camera view, and then he puts it on a whiteboard and explains it, and then it goes viral.
Yeah. Now that I think with the larger following, I need to get back to that. I still have them. I mean, they're literally sitting right in front of me where I need to just get back up and go, okay, here's a flashcard, find a person's face with it and talk a little bit more about it. Um,
I
I'll
would tell you,
explain a
go
little.
get one of those old whiteboards that you can roll in and just have it behind you and slap. Here's so and so's face. Here's so and so's
Right.
face, and draw. See what this means. See what this means. So if you're going to talk to them, this is how you get connected with them.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, just
That's
like
where,
take a random person, somebody you know, and just
Mhm.
slap their face up behind you, print it out, and just say, okay, if you wanted to connect with this person, how would you connect with this person?
well,
What? Let's
I'll
look
tell you,
here. Yeah,
people have been hitting me up. Why don't you do politicians? I'm like, maybe I'll stick to movie
because
stars.
they all lie.
Exactly. Well, here's the problem. You pick one or the other and you lose 50% of the
Right.
studio audience, right? Because they hate that other person. Like, why don't I just go for actors and actresses? Now, with that being said, apparently a lot of people hate Oprah and Elon. Shocker.
Well, people don't like successful people to a certain point, and they don't like
Right.
what they do. Like Oprah has so much money, she could buy thousands of acres in Hawaii, and people get pissed off of that because it happened right after a fire. Well,
Right.
if they weren't selling it, she wouldn't
Yeah.
have bought it. Yeah, I mean it's just people like to have somebody complain about.
Oh, yeah.
However, I think only one side would walk away from you on the politics stuff. I don't think it
True.
would matter. Okay. If you look at both, if you put both of them up there and you say, okay, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is how if you want to connect with them. And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I had another hater, but this one was on YouTube this weekend.
Oh,
He
hold on.
told me that.
But that would be perfect. So do it because you'd have a lot of haters and you grow even more.
True. What did this lady tell me? She told me that I'm basically teaching people how to stalk people, and that's ridiculous. And I said, are you in sales? Because if you're in sales and you don't research your prospect, you're not going to be in sales for very long. And then she's like, well, you called it a warm lead, and technically they're not a warm lead until you've met them. I said, no, this is how you can treat a cold lead. Like mentally, you can make them a warm lead in your head.
Right.
And she just wanted to pick a reason to argue. And of course, I look, and her name ends in a number. And I went to her YouTube channel, 2 playlists, and they're noises to help you sleep. So
Yeah. Well, and again, I had one I posted about, so in California, there's a
Mhm.
senator who's trying to, actually his assembly member, he's trying to make illegal migrant, I don't know what you want to call them, undocumented migrants, legal aliens, whatever you want to call them, to be classified under California as a first time home buyer. Because there's
Okay.
a program. Yeah. So he's trying
Yeah.
to, yeah, undocumented people to be this. And so I post about it because I think it's freaking ridiculous. And it finally got out Friday all over the place.
Yeah.
And I explained about it. And then when somebody posted that it's better than giving it to the military. And I said, if it wasn't for the military, you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't have the freedom to be able to make stupid comments.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I shouldn't
okay,
have said the word stupid, but
yeah.
but I'm like, the freedom you have is because of the military. Well, during peacetime, we don't need to give. I said, what we don't need to do is give it to Ukraine. Let's get real. All right.
Well, I just don't even understand the logistics of what they're trying to say because, okay, if somebody's here and it's undocumented, how do you do it? Because I know, like, when you go to research buying a house, they look at your credit history, show me your paycheck stubs, all these things. How do you get any of that to even make it work?
But that doesn't matter. They're just because you can get international credit. Some people can have credit, and they might be using somebody else's social security number anyway. So what the hell?
That's what I was gonna say. How do you know who they are?
It's my problem with the whole thing is they're trying. California already gave them health care. They're trying now to do something else, and it's not us. It's a few people who are so on that side, and it needs not to happen. Period. Plain and simple. It's just like the $20 an hour here, unless you're Panera.
Yeah. So I was going through logistics of having purchased homes and all the hoops and hurdles and everything else to jump through and proof of so many things. I just don't even see why it's even a topic because it's almost impossible to do. But anyway, has nothing to do with the status. It's the verification of the information to get approved.
Forget all that. I don't care about that. The problem I have is they're trying to use taxpayer dollars in California. So there's they're giving up to 20% down for this program. It's called Shared Appreciation for All is what it came through before. It helped about 2,100 people. But this time they changed it to where you couldn't, it was always been you couldn't own a home, but now your family couldn't own a home. Your mom, your dad, your sister, I mean, not mom or dad or stepdad or whatever you're connected to couldn't have owned a home in the last 7 years. Yeah. So it's taxpayer money. That's what I had a problem with.
Gotcha.
You can come to the United States and buy a house as an undocumented person. It's called a foreign whatever loan. I've done it, but you have to have a visa, right? A real right to work, and you can do it. I've done many of them, but not with taxpayer money. So it was just the statement this guy made, and I would normally have ignored it, and I engaged in it, and I've done other ones like that, and then everybody's liking my post because of it. Yeah. Don't piss off of that.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other thing. I mean, we can go back to, I've got my family all comes from that. My dad was in the Air Force. My brother just got out. He was Air Force that went over to Army and everything else. And the things that they have to go through. If you don't have anybody who's been in the military, you don't have a full appreciation for it. It's chaos. It's madness. So anyway,
our Operation Firewalk is underway.
Yeah. Awesome.
OperationFirewalk.com. 12th and 13th of April. Sign up if you guys are around the area.
Where's the area?
Modesto, California.
There you go.
It's the first, and actually David Albin I met him through Podmatch, and then we got hooked up to do it. And he was on multiple podcasts the other day, and he's like, Ed Parcaut from blah 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 said, they're doing the first one because it was like, so it's all over, it's going viral.
Are you talking? He's the one that's in Canada, right? No, different guy. Okay,
different guy. Yeah, David Albin.
Right, that's the guy.
Albin. No,
who the hell did I meet?
I don't know. You're thinking about the guy that has 1-800-TRASH.
No, there's a different guy that I met through a digital marketer that I thought he's the same name. Hold on, I can tell you who he is in a second.
He might be. You're not saying this guy's out of North Carolina, up in the mountains.
No, this is a different guy then. This is a guy that's in the Genius Network with some of our other friends. What is his? Oh, he's not on Instagram. He's on Facebook.
Let's find this out later.
Let's
get out of here. All right, everybody, thanks for being here today. Oh, that's your job. Take us out.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, thanks for joining us. And once again, today on Tuesdays, it's just Ed and I arguing like the old men from the Muppets. On Thursdays, we have the special guest we call the Joker, and that's somebody who brings a new skill or talent that we hope can help you guys out. So follow us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central, 10 a.m. for Ed because he lives on the West Coast. That's right. And the best way you can support us is to go and follow us and subscribe on YouTube. Ed, thank you for being here today, and see you on Thursday.